Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Wisdom Wednesday. So for our Wisdom Wednesday, what we are going to be doing is, for this week, our topic is all about strengthening our intuition. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to come on and I wanted to talk about some different exercises that we can do every single day to help us begin to strengthen our intuition. Now, our intuition it's not necessarily a force outside of us. It's not a nebulous force or anything like that. It is, again, going into the first two letters, intuition. It is within us. It is our inner guidance system that connects us to the divine. And that is what our intuition is. And it is a muscle. It is something that does have to be exercised. Because what happens is that our rational mind, our egoic mind, is always chattering away. It's always giving us an opinion about something. And so when it's doing that, we don't really necessarily, we can't hear the voice of our intuition. Not because it's weak, not because the ego is stronger than our intuition. It's simply because we are placing more of our focus onto our ego than we are onto our intuition. That's it. That's the only reason why our ego seems to be stronger than our intuition, is because we're just putting more focus on it. And so today I want to give you some tools and techniques that you can begin to use to assist you in really strengthening your intuition and allowing you to make that focus stronger. And there are so many different ways in which to do that. And one thing that I talk about in my Tuning into Guidance course is we really do get into, okay, like what is it? How does spirit speak to you and through you? Because spirit is always speaking to you. And when we allow it to, it speaks through us as well. And so our intuition is just another sense. So it's another way in which the divine can, speak to us and through us. And so there's claircognizance, which is clear knowing. There is clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. There is I can't remember what the clair for smelling is. Clairsense, I think. It's just scent. So that's something. And then clairaudience, which is clear hearing. Clairgustinance, which is clear tasting. And I know that sounds really weird. And then there is, of course, clairsentience, which is just clear feeling. And so that's how our intuition, that's, how spirit can speak to us and through us, through those channels. But we first have to get used to that. And one tool that I like to use for people when they're first starting out with this intuition, and before I even get into that, I do want to state this. Intuition is not supposed to be serious, okay? It is supposed to be playful. It is supposed to be fun. It is free. It's not something that you need to be like super serious about and try to fit it into a particular box. Because the moment that you try to fit your intuition into a box is the moment that you have stepped out of intuition and you've really stepped back into the rational mind. You've stepped back into the ego. Every tool that I'm about to explain to you and give to you is meant to be fun. Is meant to be a fun experiment, a fun way of experimenting. It's not meant to be taken seriously. Okay? And I know that maybe sounds a little like counterintuitive, like, well, if I'm trying to strengthen my intuition, shouldn't I take it seriously? And it's not about taking it seriously. It's about making it fun and playing with it. The moment you step into like, oh, I gotta do this, and no, we take that step back. This is all supposed to be fun, and that's really part of intuition, is the fun of allowing spirit to show you different signs and symbols. Because remember, intuition is not so much about rational words. It's more the language of intuition is all about signs, symbols, feelings. And so we got to get really clear on that. So now that I've kind of given that preface, intuition is supposed to be fun. We're supposed to have fun with it. Now we can talk about our first tool, which can begin to help you to see how you intuit the world, which one of the 5 senses that your intuition likes to speak through. So when you are first meeting someone, okay, it's the first time you're meeting them in person, what are you most drawn to? Are you drawn to the way that they look? Are you drawn to the way that their voice sounds? Are you drawn to the way that maybe there's a certain scent that comes off them? Are you drawn to the way that they make you feel? Are you drawn to maybe there's a certain taste that comes into your mouth, like when you meet a new person? Or are you drawn to how interesting they are? Whichever one of those you answer, there is a corresponding intuitive sense. So if you are drawn to the way that they sound, that's clairaudience. That means primarily your intuition comes through audible symbols, meaning music, or just overhearing a conversation. And it's like, oh, that's the answer I've been looking for. If you're drawn to the way people look, then most likely you are clairvoyant, which means you have a clear sight. You can see. So you see visually, like maybe it's angel numbers for you, or you see billboards, or you just kind of see the sign or the symbol. If it's the way that someone smells, then again, you intuit things through scent. If it is by the way that there's a certain taste in your mouth, then that's the clairgustinance. If it is the way that they make you feel, then it's clairsentience. You feel things in your body. And maybe a particular spot, like maybe you meet someone who's like super great and you feel this beautiful warmth in your heart. And maybe you meet someone who's a little more closed off, not that they're bad, they're just a little closed off, and maybe you get like a cold chill. So just examples. And then if you find like how interesting is someone, or how interesting is a conversation, then you're claircognizant, which means it's just a clear knowing. It's just like, I don't know how I know, but I know. Best way I can really explain that one. And so that's kind of how you can begin to look at your intuition and look at, okay, like how is it that my intuition wishes to express itself? Now, maybe there's not one of them. Maybe you feel like all of them. That's okay. You could be a spiritual intuitive like I am. I have access to all of them. And it's not that because I'm so spiritual or I practice meditation or Course in Miracles or anything like that. It's just at whatever given moment in time, Spirit may want to use a particular way to communicate with me or communicate through me. Maybe I'll smell something. Maybe I'll just know something. Great example of this, when I was first just really starting to get into my intuition and just kind of playing with it, and this is a tool that you can use, I would kind of play with my coworkers and just being like, okay, what mood is this person in today? And so, and they'd come in, I just kind of be like, okay, what kind of mood is this person in today? My intuition says. And that's just something that I would say. My intuition says. That way I'm not getting my mind involved. I'm just like, okay, my intuition says. And maybe it'd be angry. And I remember one time I was in my classroom and I was playing that game just with myself. I was just playing just to see what could I pick up on? What could I get? And I got that this person was very angry. It was my coworker. And I literally, in my mind, like I saw this volcano just like erupting. And I was like, whoa, like this person is really angry. And they were very quiet like the whole day and just, and nap time rolled around. And I was like, hey, is everything okay? I said, and they already knew that I was practicing my intuition. I said, I've kind of been practicing my intuition and I feel like you're really angry, like a volcano, like you want to erupt. And then all of a sudden I got this flash of this person throwing a TV out of like a second, like off a balcony. And I was like, I just see you like throwing a thing off a balcony. And she was like, whoa. And I was like, what? And she's like, I literally threw his TV out the balcony. She's like, and yeah, I'm pissed. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. I was able to feel that and intuit that. So that's something that you can do to practice that intuition, to play with it. And something that I like to do when I first started, just to kind of help me to focus, I would either put my hands just over my chest, and you could put it over your actual heart or the heart chakra. It doesn't matter. It's just kind of something to assist you in getting out of the rational egoic mind that's chattering and bringing you into that intuitive mind. Again, it's just a tactic, a tool, a technique to help you. So it's just that deep breath, and you could just kind of be like, how is this person feeling today? My intuition says. And then what's the first thing that pops into your mind? Don't analyze it. Just, okay, angry, sad, frustrated, excited, exuberant, joyful. Just like whatever the feeling is, maybe you'll feel it in your body, maybe you'll hear it in your head, maybe you'll just kind of get like a sense that maybe, someone's excited, so maybe you'll smell something that gives you excitement. Like maybe you'll smell cinnamon rolls and you're like, oh my God, cinnamon rolls. It gets me so excited because I know, grandma's cooking or whatever the case may be. Or maybe you'll hear like a certain song. And it may sound like, maybe a song in your head that gets you like really happy. Maybe you'll hear Pharrell's I'm Happy. I don't know. It's how your intuition is going to speak to you. But again, that is something for you to begin to do. Just like, okay, how is this person feeling? Like, how is that person feeling? And then my intuition says, and I really want to invite you to start with either my intuition says, my heart says, do that instead. Try to put that in front of it instead of being like, okay, how's this person feeling? Done. No, how is this person feeling? My heart says. Or how is this person feeling? My intuition says. And you're giving voice to your intuition because you are inviting it. You're saying, you know what? I'm shifting my focus from over here on my ego, and I'm shifting it over to my spirit, to my intuition. And I'm doing it by simply speaking those words. And that's the beauty of the exercise. And so, even if you want to right now, like, why not? We're here. So you could just be like, okay, taking that deep breath. Let's all just do it together. Very simple, quick exercise. So first, let's start with a few deep breaths. So we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. Okay. This is again, getting us to focus. So taking that deep breath in through the nose, holding it just for a second, and then we're going to let it out the nose. And again, breathing in through the nose, holding it for just a second, and then just letting it out through the nose. And then again, breathing in. Now putting your hand over your heart, or either the physical heart or your heart chakra, and then just letting out the ha sound. And that's just giving you that invitation to drop into your intuition, drop into love, drop into the truth of who you are, drop into relaxation, okay? And all we're going to do is you can just simply be like, okay, maybe if there's someone around you, you can do that. If there's no one around you, then you can be like, how is Ron feeling? And then see what you get and go from there. Just something that you can do, something to experiment and play with. Remember, this is not to be taken seriously. This is something you are playing with. Allow yourself that, okay? So that's tool number 1, okay, is doing that. Tool number 2 may sound like may sound like something like, I don't know how it's going to help me with my intuition, but it is. Believe you me, it's going to help you. And it's going to be an unconscious thing that you don't even realize at first. So what we don't acknowledge is that a good majority of the time, if we're honest, we are not in the present moment. We're either thinking about what we're going to do or thinking about what just happened. And so we're not fully present in the moment. And that's where our intuition is. That's where guidance is. Guidance is in the here and the now. It is not then and it's not there. It is right here, right now. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't perhaps get some sort of future information, but it does mean that you have to be present in this now moment in order to receive that information. So another great way that you can begin to exercise that muscle of being present in the here and moment, in the here and now, in this moment, is to practice you can call it an awareness walk. You can call it, just a present walk, whatever you want, or just a present moment exercise. Where you become aware of this moment, of right here, right now, and you just are noticing things. You're not sitting there being like, okay, I'm going to be present so that way my intuition kicks in. It's more like, I'm just going to relax. And it's almost like you're people watching, except you're watching the present moment. And you're just kind of noticing, like, hey, Shirley, thanks for joining. So, where is what are you drawn to? Just as you relax, as you just kind of sit back, like, what am I drawn to? What am I drawn to? And just noticing wherever your intuition may kind of pull you. You're like, ooh, I'm drawn over here. Ooh, I'm drawn over here. And you're noticing. That's it. Nothing else. You're not analyzing it. Again, analyzation is what? The realm of the ego, and that's not where we want to be. We want to be in the realm of the present moment, the realm of our intuition. And the realm of our intuition is I'm noticing, I'm observing, I'm watching, I'm using my discernment. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just noticing that. Okay, cool. Maybe I'm noticing someone kind of walking towards me, and I'm noticing it, and I'm noticing that I'm feeling an off feeling, and maybe I don't know what that is. That's okay, but I'm realizing that I don't really like this off feeling. So I can use my discernment and be like, okay, right now, maybe that person who's walking towards me, their energy just isn't for me right now. And that's okay. We're not judging it. We're not saying, well, this is a bad person or this is a good person. We're just like, that energy's not for me right now. That's okay. And so that's just something else that you can do. So either you can do it while you're at work, you can do it while you're on your lunch break, you can do it on the weekend, just going for that walk and just making yourself aware, just being aware of what you see in front of you. And something you can do with that, naming just 5 things in front of you to bring you into that present moment so that you can really begin to observe that which is happening and unfolding in front of you. So again, that's our second exercise. So our first one, how is this person feeling? How is this person feeling? Or what is the vibe of, my space or the space that I'm about to walk into? And remember, we're not saying what I think, my intuition says. We're always going back here to the heart because, again, the heart is just our symbol for coming into the truth of who we are, the truth of love. That's all that it is. So we're just saying, okay, my intuition says whatever it may say for you, okay? Again, just you're practicing, you're playing with it. It's not about right or wrong. If you're going to get stuck in right or wrong, then don't play the game. Don't play with your intuition if you're like, I have to get it right. Instead, I'm just going to play with it. Just going to see what happens, see what unfolds. Something great happens, great. Nothing happens, great as well. It's all good, okay? Because you're just playing with it. So then our third tool to begin to exercise our intuition is something that I love to do. And I'll do it in bookstores. I'll do it in grocery stores. I'll do it wherever there's a book or a magazine. If I feel like I'm like, you know what, I want some guidance. And so I will go over to, a bookshelf or the magazine rack, and I'll just be, kind of put my hand out and just pick a random book. And I will put the book, we'll just take this for example, it's the Course in Miracles. So I'll just put it in between my hands. I'll take a deep breath. And I'll just be like, okay, and since we're doing it, we'll just say for the group. So, Spirit, what would you like the group to know for today? Just those who are present in this here and now moment and those who will watch this in the future. Like, what is the main message you would like to bring to us? And then just wherever. Be not content with littleness, but be sure you understand what littleness is and why you could never be content with it. Littleness is the offering you give yourself. You offer this in place of magnitude, and you accept it. Everything in this world is little because it is a world made out of littleness. In the strange belief that littleness can content you, when you strive for anything in this world, in the belief that it will bring you happiness or peace, joy, you are belittling yourself and blinding yourself to glory. Littleness. Glory. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you are belittling yourself. And glory are the choice open to your striving and to your vigilance. You will always choose at the expense of the other. So either you're going to choose littleness or you're going to choose magnitude. And if you choose littleness and be like, I'm little, I'm not good enough, then that's what you're going to experience. But if you choose instead, I am the divine child, I am the light of the world, then that's what you're going to walk into. And that's not, see, the ego would have you believe that you are the light of the world, to believe that you are powerful, to believe that you have intuition and a direct connection to the divine is arrogance. No, that is not arrogance. You know what's arrogant? Is to believe that you could be anything less than an intuitive channel for the divine. That's arrogant. That's how our ego works. The ego says, oh no, to believe that you are more than just a body, that's arrogant. But the Spirit says to believe that you are less than everything and light and joy and happiness, that is true arrogance. So it says, yet what you do not realize each time you choose is that you will not have peace. For you will have judged yourself unworthy of it, and whatever you offer as a substitute is much too poor a gift to satisfy you. So right there, that's what Spirit wants us to know. And you can do that with any book. It does not have to be a spiritual book. Like I said, you can do that with a magazine. You can do it with just a regular book, a fantasy novel, a historical documentary, like whatever it is, just right there, put your hands in between it, on the front cover and the back cover. Take that deep breath and just be like, okay, what message does my intuition want to give to me? And then just let it flow. And that's it. And then so we now come to this one, the only answer. So right now, I mean, this is why I love working with intuition, because it just surprises you in these fun ways. Like, I didn't know that I was going to go to page 100 where it says the only answer. Remember, and this of course says the Holy Spirit, but you can just use Spirit or universe or divine compassion, whatever works for you. Remember that the Holy Spirit is the answer. So remember, love is always the answer, not the question. The ego always speaks first. It is capricious and does not mean its maker well. It believes, and correctly, that its maker may withdraw his support from it at any moment, which, I mean, is that not what we were already talking about in the beginning? That the reason that our intuition seems to be a weak voice is only because we are so focused on our ego's voice, because it speaks first and loudest. And all we're doing with our intuition is we are changing the focus from our ego to spirit. I mean, this is why I love working with it, because it's just giving us that affirmation again. So it's telling us, what's the only answer? Love is always the answer. There is no other answer that could ever truly satisfy you. So another beautiful tool that you can use, and again, using it daily. Going to a bookstore, going to a coffee shop, going into the grocery store, just picking something up and, holding it. Okay, what message does my intuition want me to know? Maybe you'll be like, I need to go to page 4. And maybe you'll read the words, trust in me. Or they said trust. Maybe that's something you needed to hear. I don't know. But your intuition does. And it's going to guide you to what you need to read. And just let it be. You're playing with it. Again, I cannot stress it enough. Play with your intuition. Don't take it like a serious thing of like, I have to do it, and if I don't get it right. Intuition is about right or wrong. Intuition is developing that trust with your inner voice, your true inner voice, not the voice of the ego. That's not your true voice. That's the voice that you made. That's not true. We're getting to our true voice. Okay? And that's what these tools and techniques are helping us to do, to strengthen our focus on our true voice. And so right now, yes, the ego's voice is going to seem very loud, and maybe we'll get a little confused about like, is this my ego or is this, my spirit? But again, another great tool to help us with that. Ego is going to scream at you. It's going to yell at you. It's going to make you feel like, oh my God, I got to get it done right now. It's going to make you feel like if I don't get this right, everything is going to fail. Where intuition is much more gentle. Now, just because I say gentle doesn't mean it's like, oh my God, everything's great. No, when I say gentle, it is gentle but direct. It's going to be like, turn left. And if you don't turn left, that's okay. It's going to be like, okay, hey, up here, turn left. And it's going to continue to talk to you, where your ego, on the other hand, is going to be like, turn left, turn left. If you don't turn left, everything is done. The world is going to end if you don't turn left. Where Spirit's just like, turn left. Oh, you didn't turn left? That's okay. I want you to turn right. Oh, you didn't turn right? I want you to turn right again. So that's kind of how we can tell. It's our voice of our intuition is loving, kind, direct, and it feels good. Like that's the best way I can put it. It feels good, where the ego may make you feel stressed or make you feel like, oh, like I got to get it done, anxious. So just another quick little tool to throw in there. And then I'll go ahead and I'll end it on this tool for tonight. And the tool I want to end it on is something that anyone can do. Again, you do not have to be a professional. You don't have to be a channeler. None of that. All you have to do, and it's very simple, very easy, is, and you've heard me say it before, so, okay, I'm going to give one more. So I'm going to give this one, and then I'm going to give one more. Which is automatic writing. Automatic writing is very simple. It's very easy, and it's something that I need to practice as well. Because I have been nagged by my spirit team to be like, you need to do some automatic writing. So that's something I need to work on. And what do you know? Today I got a brand new notepad given to me. So I have ample room in which to do it. So with this, you just meditate for like 5-10 minutes. And if you can't meditate, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. We can just instead go to our hearts again. Do our 3 deep breaths, and then just, open up to an empty page in a notebook, or maybe you just have some scrap paper that you can keep with you, and just kind of relax your hand and just kind of start drawing some circles. And just, if you have a question, just be like, and again, don't make it an important question right now as you're starting. And the reason we don't want to make it an important question when we're starting is because then we're going to go right into our ego. Because we're like, oh man, I got to get it right. I got to get the answer. Instead, just make it, very simple. And this actually is going to lead us into the last tool I wanted to talk about, which is So making it something you don't really care about. So maybe, what color should I wear for tomorrow's meeting? My intuition says. And you're just kind of, allowing the pin just to kind of go in a circle. And maybe you'll start to feel something, just like a little pull. And you're just like, okay, you're just letting your hand kind of be guided by spirit. And I don't know if anyone needs to hear this, but for your meeting tomorrow, I saw the color purple. So maybe someone wants to wear purple for a meeting tomorrow. I don't know, but that's what I saw. So just a little intuitive hit out there. Anyone wants to wear the color purple tomorrow? I would love to see what happens if you do decide to wear purple. And so just kind of, doing that. That's all you have to do. And again, something that you can do is in the morning when you wake up, okay, go over to your closet, hand over your heart, because you're just waking up. You're not fully conscious yet. The ego hasn't started its jibber jabber. And so you can go over to your closet and just be like, okay, what color should I wear today? Or what outfit should I wear today? My intuition says, allowing your dominant hand or non-dominant hand, whatever you want, to kind of go over it. And wherever you feel a ping or a pull or a like, ooh, yes, this is where I got to grab it and then wear it. That's it. Grab it and wear it and just see what happens. I've had people tell me that they've pulled out, random clothes. And they're like, I don't even know why I haven't worn this in years. And someone's like, oh my God, I love you in that outfit. You look so great. And they're like, oh, and it's like that little confidence boost. Another person who did that picked out basically like an all black outfit. And then they had to drive someone to a funeral. It wasn't necessarily like someone they knew that had passed, but someone else needed a ride to the funeral. And so they were able to drive that person there and actually like go in there and kind of help them along through that funeral. So they were already dressed and ready for it. So just allow yourself. And the reason, again, why are we using things like what should I wear or what should I eat? Which way should I go to work? Which way should I walk? What music should I listen to, like on my way into work? Is there a certain song? The reason we start with these things that don't seem important is because those are the easiest things, and there's not an agenda tied to them. Because when we have a quote unquote specific question and we're like, oh my God, I really need guidance on this, we are so involved with an agenda of the answer that we want that we can't hear our intuition clearly because we have our ego telling us its plan and being like, oh, this is the plan. This is what you should do. And it's all based on the past. It's never based on the present moment. It's always based on like past things or future things that you should do or past things that you should have done. We don't want to be there. So that's why we're just right now, we're just playing with some, what I should wear, what I should eat, which way I should go to work, which way I should walk. Because those things don't really matter and there's not a agenda behind them. It's just like I'm playing with it. I'm just seeing what happens. And that's, again, the main focus of working with your intuition is to play with it. Don't take it seriously. Don't act like it is the end all be all. This is something, this is your divine voice. This is your inner knowing, your inner voice, your inner connection to the divine. And we are growing that because we've grown so accustomed to our ego talking first and talking loudest and jibber jabbering that we got to start getting used to focusing on our spirit, focusing on the truth of who we are, our inner guidance, our true voice. So I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being here, and I will talk to all of you later. And again, if you are interested in joining my personal group, which is Awakening Miracles, on Wix Spaces, I will be holding on December 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time a free Zoom call where we're going to be setting our intentions for the new year, but we're going to be setting them in a different way. We're not going to just be setting them and being like, okay, this is what I want. We're really going to be listening to one another from an intuitive level and being like, okay, how does that feel? And we're really going to be getting into the feeling of it. Like, is this an intention that is aligned with my spirit, or is this an intention more aligned with my ego? And so we're going to be able to practice that with one another. And so that's something that we are going to be doing. It's not going to be recorded. You do not have to be on camera. And so this is just an opportunity for all of us to kind of join together, but it is only for my Awakening Miracles group. And the link to that will be posted only in the group. So again, if you want to join that, the link is in the description of the video. I will also post the link in the comments of the video as well. So I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being here, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.